So we are live. Hello, everyone. Today is the last webinar of this year, and we have a really interesting topic. It's about tokenization, about real-world assets, and what's in it about MiCA around that, how we can handle this. And we have really interesting guests today. It's first of all, it's Anna. Anna, please introduce yourself, what you're doing.
Hello, my name is Anna Voievodina. I am from Ukraine, and we have a Manimama law firm. This is a company which is mainly engaged in tasks for any crypto projects. We are obtaining MiCA licenses. We are obtaining different licenses in other jurisdictions, including USA, Africa, Asia, Latin America, and also we are supporting projects which are eager to tokenize something, real estate, uh, NFTs, or different assets, including security tokens, and so on and so forth. So, principally, we have a huge practice and experience in this field. So, that is why we are here.
Okay, thank you for introduction. And second, our guest today we have two of them. It's Karym. Karym, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Karym. I'm a CPO at Kyrrex. Kyrrex is a fintech hub, I would say, with a bunch of a fintech-related, crypto-related, crypto fiat-related products, including MiCA license exchange, a crypto acquiring solution, the Kyrrex Pay, which I'm going to be talking about a bit later today. So, yeah.
Thank you. Before we are starting this conversation, I see people is joining us, and I want just to check, is everything clear? Can you hear us? Can you see us? Can you put some smile or emoji inside the chat so we know that everything is working well? Great. Yes, thank you. And I have a second question. Can you specify which jurisdiction you are currently working in or planning to work in? So we know specifically about what we are covering today and you. Okay. Uh, Usually, it will be great to see the not like only you, but the country name. Ukraine, Bulgaria. Okay. Okay, thank you. And about the format, today Anna and Karym will be presented some information regarding the topic of this webinar. And during the presentation, you can ask questions in the chat or question section, and all of them will be answered after the presentation in Q&A session. So I just want to start with small conversation with both our experts about the current situation on the MiCA, with the MiCA on the EU market, and how it's going to for the companies, because it's already end of the 2025, and not too many companies received this license at the current moment, and usually personally for me, I expect it to be it's in much bigger numbers, to be honest. Anna, what do you think about the current situation? Will it be the same in the next year, just like uh,
Uh,
tens of companies will receive, or it will change?
this it was the first year, yes, and practically in reality, only the big and very developed company have already mm, received that license. I don't think so. I don't think it is a problem. It is a normal situation, and a lot of projects, of course, decided to stop their business. A lot of projects among our clients as well decided not to do and not to apply for MiCA. We see the names of those who have received the licenses. Big companies like Bitstamp, like Coinbase, like MoonPay, everybody knows about them. A lot of banks have already received MiCA in Germany, in Spain, and this is a good news, because we understand that we see the policy of so-called debunking. Yeah, that banks are trying to accept crypto normally. And also what I see that we can review the list of jurisdictions who have already gave those licenses, and among the most popular are those to whom there was no trust because of their meaningless, yes, something like that. Germany is the leader, and it is understood. It is completely right because I understand this is the most experience in reality jurisdiction in all Europe, because it was the first country in Europe where the stock exchange appeared, honestly, and the second is Netherlands. So I think that first of all we will see new MiCA license in the next year, and but we need to understand that of course we have not so many CAS providers as we have now among WASPs. This was the aim of MiCA, to clean the market and to give chance to work only for those who really do business and who can behave according to the rules.
Okay, thank you. And Karim, what your point of view on this situation?
I mean, obviously, without the regulation, there cannot be a mass adoption, and like the crypto cannot be globalized throughout different jurisdictions. So MiCA is something that we are facing on the territory of the EEA countries. Um, I do agree with Ganna that this process is absolutely time consuming, cost consuming, that not every company out there can handle, honestly saying, because like your burn rate just jumps through the roof. You always on under the constant pressure of the regulator. You have to work throughout the new formalities, new frameworks that are constantly also appearing from the regulator itself, because the market is still fresh, the framework is still fresh, because I mean like the regulator itself still trying to touch and feel how this or that rule or regulation would affect the market, affect the companies who would follow it, and so on and so forth. But yeah, this is the way we and this is the niche we're in, this is the market we're in, this is the business we're in. So you can't be without it. But I hope that 2026 is going to be um, more um, successful for the majority of the companies, crypto related companies on the territory of the European Union, because like as we all know, 2025 is not that rich on the amount of the companies who actually received the MiCA. Also, some jurisdictions where there were pre-MiCA so-called process, where companies were already pre-regulated, following all of the rules and frameworks. I hope those companies would also enter the market under the MiCA license, which would obviously open up new partnerships, new opportunities for the business and the retail customers as well.
Okay, thank you, Karim. And my next question to Anna, I believe it will be like start of the conversation regarding real world assets, because as I understand, the currently MiCA is not regulating this type of assets. It's separate out of the scope of the MiCA regulation, and every company who is trying to build this business around that anyway should be taken consideration if they want to touch European market and clients. They should be in compliance with what, with some other rules, or because am I right that MiCA is not touching real world assets and tokenization at all?
No, it's not like this. Yes, I can principally start and explain what is going on. Uh, I was going, by the way, to share presentation, if it is okay, because I think it will be much more comfortable for the users, for the
Okay.
guests of the webinar, because it is quite difficult to listen without this document. And also, I will be ready to send it. Also, 1 second, I'm doing the sharing. I will be ready to send it to the guests, and
Yeah, I believe we can also share the contact information of you and Karym and myself to if somebody want to get some consultation later on, they can contact us directly.
Yes. Let me try
I believe you
to
should
share.
give access.
Yeah, now I
everyone.
have it. Yes. So what I'm going to talk about is about what is inside MiCA and what is outside MiCA, so that everybody understand how to build tokenization according to it or beyond. Let us go.
Sorry,
Sorry?
we don't see your presentation because you should give access to Google Slides in sharing
I gave because
to
I see
everyone
it.
with the link, I believe. Everyone with the
I
link.
did it.
But you can see on the screen this is not showing right now.
Maybe we should try to reload the page.
Because I did it. Share. 1 second. Sorry. What about now?
Not yet.
I see it. I see that it is shared on the web screen, and I don't know.
It is not on our end. I assume that should be shared for the whole web. I would say like view only.
Okay then. Sorry.
You can share the
Then
screen. You see, you have share the whole screen button on the.
So I'm okay. What about now?
Now we see. You can click slideshow and we can go.
Okay. Let's do like that. So this is me. You know who I am. Now I'm going to tell what I want to tell. So according to MiCA, first of all, we need to say that MiCA tells that it regulates only 3 types of assets: asset reference tokens, including stable coins based by commodities or or more than one currency. Yeah. So in this situation, sometimes we understand that it can be backed by a real world asset, depending on the structure of this token. I can tell that this type of token is one of the most difficult. Why? Because before we didn't have such practice, and sometimes people can be very unsure about if they have asset reference token at all. What is asset reference token according to MiCA? First of all, we need to say that this is a token, the aim of which is to stabilize the price of it by backing it or using a real world assets. In reality, it is like this. But the main aim of this token is to issue a stable token which is backed by something from the real world, and it is not an electronic money. Also, we need to understand this is not security token. Why? First of all, because security tokens are fully regulated by MiFID, and this is what MiCA talking about. They strictly define and tell we don't regulate security token. From this point of view, I can say that European regulation is now more clear than American one. Yeah, because in the US, we always have this problem. Still, we have this problem when we have several regulating authorities who are thinking that they are the regulator of the market. Security Exchange Commission of US all the time is trying to see that it is their perimeter of regulation. Each token, first of all, to be publicly offered, has to go through Howey test. Yeah, and in this situation, MiCA directly explains we don't regulate security token. Security token are regulated by MiFID. About this, we will talk a little bit later. From the other hand, what is asset reference token? First of all, as I have already told, it has to the aim of issue of this token is to stabilize the price, and it has to be backed by uh, commodities by different assets from the real world, or different currencies more than one, meaning that it is USDT from my point of view, my personal opinion, and a lot of lawyers agree with me that USDT is not a money token. In reality, it could be defined as asset reference token, because in reality this token is stable and it is backed on different assets, gold, investment certificates. By the way, we don't need to mix with tokenized securities, and with banking deposits in dollars and other cryptocurrencies. And uh, a person who has asset reference token doesn't doesn't have right to receive passive income, meaning that we can't, for instance, issue some interest rate, interest, or whatever. Uh, what we see in security tokens, yes, because security tokens are mainly financial instruments, including pure securities like shares, like options, and so on, and at the same bonds, different types of derivative contracts and securities. And of course, when I hold something like this, I always uh, waiting for passive income, which is given to investor. Asset reference token doesn't give the right to issuer and doesn't guarantee the right to the token holder to receive passive income. But the question is the following: for what purpose do I issue this token, and for what purpose I buy it? This is a classical speculative tool which I am investing in to sell it properly in the time when the time it comes. When the time comes. So this is the situation when I buy something just for selling, and it is backed by stable price of different commodities. E-money token, it is understood. This is a pure electronic money token, which is backed by one fiat currency. And we need to say that MiCA created the situation when this token cannot be issued, avoiding regulation of electronic money regulation, meaning that we take all the directives which define the rules of behavior for such players like electronic money institution, and we just create electronic money on blockchain or other another DLT system which can exist or occur in some time. And the main very interesting thing which they are talking about is other tokens, including utility tokens. The third group of tokens is not just utility tokens. They tell they are other. Now we need to answer the questions. What does it mean other? Why did they use such term? I understand this is because uh, regulators, while discussing and adopting this document, understood that they cannot be in time, and they understand that the market is developing rather fast, and they need to create the definition which will give them a very wide opportunity to regulate the market. But we can go from another side. We know that MiCA doesn't regulate two types of token, and this is the preamble of the document. We don't regulate securities and we don't regulate NFT. Uh, Only when NFT is a really token backed by some unique and non-fungible asset in the world. As they explained, please don't create NFTs when there is no in reality NFT. When we have a lot of different tokens which have only some, let's say, fake differences between each other, but in reality, the token is not tied to something exclusively. So we don't have securities, we don't have NFTs. And it means that all other tokens, including utility, are going to the third group. What does it mean? It means that even meme coins are under regulation. Is it good or not? I think it is okay. What it means that I have the right to issue mem coin to tell to the public that yes, this is token which is not backed by any obligation from my side. You need to understand the risks, and this token is just backed by, let's say, not backed by. It is a token for speculation. It is a token connected with some um popular trends on the market, and if you buy it, you need to understand you can get a lot of money if you in time, or you can lose all your money. If I prepare the right paper according to this, then okay, I can proceed. So taking into consideration that our topic is not about these types of tokens, anyway, I will be short, and I will explain about utilities, or so-called other types of token, because I guess it is more popular and it is more it is more necessary for the guests who are here taken into account. We have not so much time. So in few words, to issue asset reference token, we need a permission, meaning that we provide white paper and we get approval from uh, regulating authority. But we don't need to do that only if the offering is exclusively addressed to qualified investor. The tokens can belong only to them, and the average outstanding value of IRTs is not more than 5 million euro per year. So meaning principally we can issue tokens uh, in this limits for the qualified investors, and we don't need any regulation. Yes, we need just normal civil regulation, good contracts, good offering memorandum, but we don't need to get the permission, and we are not required to get authorization. Electronic money tokens are very simple also. Not simple, but simple. They are simple in understanding. We need to be a credit institution or get permission for issuing such e-money tokens. Now let's go to other types of tokens. Uh, uh, they are quite, they can be quite different, and any company in the world can issue such token. If we are talking about IRTs, by the way, I need to pay attention. IRTs, asset reference token, can be issued only by European company. This is a very big problem, meaning that Singapore or US company cannot issue IRT and offer it on European market. If you're talking about e-money token, it can be a credit institution acknowledged in EU, meaning that principally it can be not only European company. But when we are talking about other types of tokens and utility tokens, any legal entity, not an individual, of course, can issue such token. What does it mean? It means that BVI, Panamanian, or Costa Rican company, very popular in issuing token, can be presented on this market, but they need to do it according to the rules. The rules are quite clear, and they depend on where we offer our token. If you offer it on our landing page directly to investors using different marketing channels, excluding centralized exchange, we are obliged to prepare some documents, uh, and they have to be published before offering, and we don't need to be approved by any regulating authority. But if we go to CEX, which is a CASP, then it is the obligation of CASP to pass our through KYC procedure, and it is their obligation in front of the regulating authority and governments of EU that we are okay. You can see now that those companies who became CASPs, sorry, they are already they are already in process of communication with tokens, and all of them are going through a procedure of admission to trading. Yes, We have a very big experience and help our clients to go through procedure in Bybit, in Kraken, and so on, because all these companies, they are already regulated. What else? So the main thing which I wanted to tell, other types of tokens, including utilities, meme coins, and so on, they can be issued by non-European company and they can be offered to European auditory. But now I want to talk about security token offerings. And maybe it can be something shocking, but in reality, uh, analyzing the requirements to issuers of e-money and IRT tokens, we understood that sometimes it is much more easier to issue and offer security token. Because security token, it is in reality a blockchain-based digital asset representing ownership on the capital market. Yeah, as we told before, stocks, bonds, different traditional financial assets, and uh, when we issue such token and propose it on the territory of EU, we have very developed, very old, and full of cases regulation, which is MiFID, and we know how to do that in reality. According to MiFID, uh, it looks like everything can be very, very difficult. But in reality, I want to tell you the following, that prospectus regulation, which is obligatory for those who offer securities on the European market, has a lot of limits. What does it mean? In reality, we need obey to prospectus regulation only when we offer more than 8 million euro valued tokens. If you want to offer 1 million on the whole European Union, we are not obliged to do anything except token sale agreement, offering memorandum, and disclosing of risks and different necessary provisions, let's say. When we want to propose something from 1 million to 8 million, but we are allowed to offer tokens only in one of the countries of EU, then we can make a so-called national prospectus according to local rules and avoid ESMA regulation. When we work with qualified investors again, and the amount of investment is not less than 100,000 euro in one hand, let's say, then again we are avoiding any prospectus. Each country has its own limits, limit, which they have adopted according to the wide allowance to use 8 million threshold. Yes. So here on this page, you can see what does it mean. If you want to make a national offer in Romania, only up to 1 million. In Sweden, up to 2 and 5. And if you go to such developed country like Germany, okay, up to 8. But also in my presentation, which I'm going to share, we have explained principally the methods and the ways how to get permission to offer security tokens in this or that country. And you see that in Denmark, Liechtenstein, by the way, Liechtenstein and Norway have already joined MiCA. This we need to understand. If you have the company there, you can you have to obey MiCA regulation. They have no any additional requirements. It is quite easy to issue tokens, even they are securities in this country, and you can cover the market up to 8 million. Now, what I wanted to tell about is DAO as an alternative solution for tokenization. Why DAO? Because DAO, very usually, very often, we use for issuing security tokens, understanding that we can also avoid prospectus regulation taking into account what I have already told. Yes, when we have thresholds up to 1 million through all Europe, from 1 to 8 in one of the countries, and of course, when we have a big offer, we need to make a prospectus regulation. What is DAO? DAO, it is our know-how, let's say. It's not a know-how of Manimama, but Manimama created a lot of tools how to use it properly. DAO, we know what is DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. In reality, this is the company which is incorporated in the form of limited liability company. We have two countries which are now which now have regulation about DAO. It is US and it is Marshall Islands. In these two countries, we can create a company in the status of legal entity, and the company will be fully managed by smart contract. What does it mean? It means that when we create such a company, we create the operation agreement, which explains that a smart contract will be the manager of the company, and all tokens which are issued by this smart contract are in reality the shares of the company. Each person who holds these tokens at the moment are the shareholders of the company. By creating such company, we what we do, we create the company first. It can be done without any shareholder. Only the initiative member is needed. The person is creating a DAO. After that, the person creates operation agreement, and it includes the main idea and goal of this entity. In this document, we tell the following: we are DAO. We want to attract, I don't know, 1 million euro to buy real estate. Let's imagine, or to invest in real estate, which is not built for this moment. And we create the smart contract which issues tokens every time when the investor is coming to our landing page, for instance, and buys this token. They are going through KYC procedure. It is obligatory for us if we use, for instance, US company, because in reality it can be very cheap, very fast, and completely affordable, yes, for any project. We need to comply with SEC regulation, and we have regulation S, which explains that if we do a completely offshore deal, meaning avoiding American investors, we don't need also any prospectus regulation in US, meaning that we don't need to inform SEC of US about that. But by creating such project, we need to understand that it is our obligation not only to avoid American residents at the beginning, but also to be ready to guarantee that on the secondary market, American users also will not have possibility to buy these tokens. How it is done? Sometimes it is done by creation of infrastructure when the tokens are sold only inside some ecosystem. In this situation, we have the project which we have already supported. It is called Binaries. It is a project which is created with the purpose of selling villas in Bali. And this project platform doesn't give opportunity to sell tokens outside the platform. They control the system. They don't allow American residents. So we created the DAO. We created the smart contract. We created the operation agreement explaining what is going to be done. For instance, we are trying to find some money in some amount and invest it to the real estate in Europe, let's say. And here we have two options. We can buy shares of European company which owns property, or the company from America can become the direct owner of the property, if it exists. If it doesn't exist, you can just sign preliminary agreement and invest to the development of some real estate. And why everything what I told before was very important, because all the projects who are engaged in tokenization, they need to understand that while we support such tokenization, we need to understand that we need to rely on two different regulations: the regulation of the company, of the jurisdiction of the company, yes, like US, when we create US company, and at the same time the regulation of the jurisdiction where we offer tokens. So now we are talking about creating American company which issues tokens, which are securities, but which are at the same time offers its tokens not in US but in Europe. This idea and this model was presented by me personally to BaFin. BaFin is the German regulating authority, and they regulate financial market. And they completely approved that they confirmed, let's say like this, they confirmed that this model is absolutely acceptable in EU. That is why we propose it to our clients in Poland, in Germany, in Spain, and it is completely affordable. When a smart contract issues tokens in exchange of money, they it cannot be done uh, like in a DEX. Yes, uh, it is understood that in this situation we are accepting money to create share capital of the company, and it is very important that this money are stored in a safe place. The first variant is it is a banking account which can accept fiat funds to accept those money, and we can organize it. The second, it is a custodian storage in some licensed provider who can accept these funds to store them very safely for the investors. And when also smart contract can include such functionalities like distribution of income. The company DAO, for instance, bought um, the real estate somewhere in Europe, and then this company is sold, for instance, and the company has the income from the sale of property, or the business of the company is given rent, yes, and we receive rent payments every month and every quarter. So these funds can be sent to DAO after all expenses, all taxes, and so on in the place, and distributed to token holders by the smart contract. So this is only one of models uh, I can tell about on this webinar, because currently we have a lot of new experience and a lot of new expertise in Europe as well. We have reviewed French, Spanish, Luxembourg legislation, and found Liechtenstein legislation as well, and found new opportunities for issuing security tokens and asset reference tokens in Europe as well. Finalizing my presentation, I also want to tell that we always had some issue with DAO, meaning that when a person comes to DAO, he becomes the shareholder of the whole company. And in this situation, if the project wants to tokenize a lot of different projects, they need to create different DAOs, because this is the nature of the deal. But we found the solution in Luxembourg, where we can create a so-called securitization vehicle, which in reality can own as a portfolio. They are called compartment, according to Luxembourg legislation. And in this situation, the company can create a portfolio where different compartments manages different assets. This is also a very interesting model. In France and in Spain, we have in France we have a very specific law which gives opportunity to tokenize securities. In Liechtenstein, we have such law. In Germany, we have such law. So principally, all over the world, if the world is very developed, yes, like US, like European Union, we can find a lot of models which are absolutely beyond the MiCA, and we are ready to help in that direction. I am done.
Thank you, Anna. We have questions inside the chat, and also have my personal question. But I want to first of all uh, transfer the mic to the Karym, and please tell us about Kyrrex Pay and how it can help uh, clients to and companies to operate.
Yeah, sure. Perfect. There's a slide. I didn't prepare. I didn't do my homework, so I'll use the pre-made presentation by you guys. So just to keep it short, Anna mostly covered the tokenization phase, and by the way, I've captured a lot of valuable information for myself. So shout out to you, Anna. Thank you. However, we all understand that the funds from the consumers should go in somehow, right? There are a couple of ways on how to do it. We do know that today we're talking only about the crypto. However, still, crypto is not that deep, unfortunately, into the market, and the majority of the consumers are preferring still same fiat funds. I'm talking about the euro, USD, dollar, GBP, etc. So I'll be talking about two things today. The first thing, I'll keep it short. The first thing is how the regulation on the under the MiCA changed a bit a flow of the so-called on-ramp fiat to crypto processes that and that crypto then can be sent further to DAO and to the uh, organization or the participants of the organization. We all know that the KYC procedures got a bit strict. First of all, when we are talking about the fiat, especially when we're talking about the converting fiat to crypto or vice versa, we still have to make a full so-called due diligence of the end user, whether this is a retail customer or the legal entity, like the corporate client that wants to fund some assets onto the platform on of any sort of. We still have the AML happening, because I mean, like, obviously we need to make sure that the funds are clean and clear. There are no risks. I do honestly think that the KYC procedures, KYB procedures that are like improved throughout the past 2 years, at least on the territory of the European Union, is a good move in order to reduce the fraudulent activity and potential risks for on this market, which is pretty cool when we're talking about the adoption of this whole thing. The other option to fund the whole story is the crypto. There, then that's when the crypto acquiring comes in. That's when I'm going to be talking about the Kyrrex Pay. So it is like a software that would allow any sort of a platforms. When I'm saying any, I really mean that. Whether this is the RWA project, I don't know, just a simple e-commerce project. That really this type of the product allows you to accept crypto payments globally, first of all, from any type of the clients. Here, there's a bit different situation on the behavior between the merchant, so-called, us as a company, and a consumer. So let's call it this magic triangle. While us as a Kyrrex Pay, we're dealing only with the merchant. So the merchant for us is RWA project, let's say. That's who we're dealing with on the, let's say, direct basis. So we do the due diligence of that company to make sure that this company is legit. This company would definitely lead us or to themselves a legit traffic, legit funds, etc., etc., etc. The next step is the behavior or cooperation between the consumer and the RWA in our case organization. So RWA organization can accept crypto payments from the retail users without uh, deep due diligence or the KYC of the clients, because we're still talking about the crypto behavior. In this case, there are only two type of the um, regulatory normals are applying. These are the travel rules, because obviously we need to figure out this is what's happening on the back end actually, so the client doesn't know about this rule at all. So we do need to identify where the funds are coming in, whether this is a non-custodial wallet or custodial wallet. If it is custodial wallet, what type of the exchange or custodian is it? Then the next step obviously is to identify whether the funds were sent on the behalf of the client or the third party of the client. That's also the step and the rule of the travel rule that we need to make prior depositing the funds onto the platform. And the second part is the AML. That's also something that is happening on the back end of the things. We use a couple of providers at the same time, the chain analysis, of course, and Global Ledger. This is the Ukrainian startup, pretty legit. They have even more strict, I would say, formulas to define the risk appetite of the um, transaction. So we always make sure that the funds that are really touching our custody and are coming to our merchant, which is the RWA organization in our case, are crystal clear and we can process them further. That's actually what helps at this particular stage. Like crypto still cross border type of the payment, which happens almost instantly. That is why the majority of the B2B companies are still preferring this type of the payment getaway to enter the new markets, work with the new type of the projects, work with the new type of the not only jurisdictions but the type of the clients is also really important. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So just to summarize the whole scope and the whole idea of the crypto acquiring, the Kyrrex Pay, is that such platforms, tokenization platforms, can integrate this crypto payment gateway on their platform via the API, widget, whatever form you prefer, and also depending on your development capabilities and what type of the resources you can divide or define for that. You can actually enable the flow of funds from your potential consumers to your project. That's pretty much it on my end.
Karym, thank you very much. So let's start with Q&A session. And I have the first one from my side to Anna. Can you, like, from your point of view, describe the best scenario? What should end customer, I mean, from your customer who wants to create a real RWA asset, where to open the company, from your point of view, the best one, and how to deal with the current regulation? I mean, for example.
It depends. Okay, thanks for the question. It depends on the type of token. When we are talking about ordinary utility token, yes,
Yeah.
which is used to be exchanged to the goods and services. It can be any offshore company in like BVI, like Seychelles. It is very popular among startups. Yes, in Telegram, who
Mhm.
create games and so on. If you are talking
Mhm.
about something forget that utility token, if we offer it on behalf of European company and sell it in Europe, it is always a VAT non-exempted deed. We sell token, it is VAT exempted. But when a person is coming to receive the service, it is VAT. When we talk about tokenization of real estate or something like creation of pool, I have explained that America and Marshall Islands are very good for tokenization of something, because it is very comfortable, and we don't need to create some new tool. It is fully regulated by the law, which gives the main rule: share is equal to token. We don't need to create something new. But when we are talking about something more complicated, like issuing tokens which are backed by gold, let's imagine, sometimes we use Switzerland, sometimes we use UK, once we even used Singapore. So in reality, it has to be estimated on case by case base. But I think that DAO in US, the state of Wyoming, is quite acceptable for many token sales when we want to issue, when we want to create investment pool and invest in some big asset, including creating, by the way, a portfolio just for trading crypto on some exchange, but not on behalf of one person, but on behalf of the group of investors.
Okay, and the next question also touches this about the banking service. So when you create such type of company in Wyoming, for example, can you open the bank account and operate from as a corporate account in the bank and operate the fiat from it?
Yes, we have a very good tracking in opening accounts. I don't recommend to use banking accounts because they have too many limits, and we can receive many problems with compliance. And also, we need to understand that DAO in reality sometimes it is beyond risk appetite of different banks when they don't accept DAO. Because in reality it looks like unregulated foundation, something like that. But we have several electronic money institutions in Switzerland, in Lithuania, and in Canada, who are ready to accept such clients to open corporate accounts for accepting funds from the investors if they don't want to use crypto, and also for just operating income, including investing to some property abroad.
Okay, thank you very much. And my second question, we have shortage of time, but it's for me it's really interesting. Am I right? Am I understanding it right that when you have tokens in your wallet, you can like operate, for example, majority of the tokens and of this DAO, you own 100% of this token. You are the like you can control the company operations in this moment, or how it's working, or for example, it was issued 1 million tokens, yeah, and you bought all of them from the initial issuer, like receivers, and you have right now 100% of the tokens of this DAO. So you are in full control of this company right now. You can like do some.
In reality, yes, of course it is so. That is why we recommend because it is just a direct provision of corporate law. When I'm the sole shareholder, I'm controlling everything. But this is acceptable only when we are talking about private investment. First of all, and secondly, principally, it is affordable if a person just want to sell. When the project looks like this, like I told you about our case, which is called binaries. The sellers just want to sell villa, and they use tokenization because villas are very expensive and they can't find the buyer. If there is a buyer who is ready to buy 100% and they don't care and they want to transfer control, it is okay. But when we are talking about the project which is not ready to give full control, we have two different ways. First way is to create DAO, to create the rules according to which the quorum of DAO has some limitations, like to vote for different decisions, we need 50% of, I don't know, 55% of people to be presented and to buy these 55%. This is the first option. Because using different corporate tools, we always can defend our project, yes. Secondly, you can tokenize not the whole asset, meaning that we have, for instance, a practice in Poland with a client. He did the following. He has an asset which costs several millions, and the DAO is buying only 20% of this asset, let's imagine. In this situation, yes, the token holders can control the DAO, but in reality, they control only 20% of the asset which is tokenized.
Okay, thank you. And the last question, it was from the Maria. In general, do you see what do you think about the reality of MiCA validity and operational capabilities in EU countries? For example, Poland failed national act of MiCA implementation. Can the MiCA work in reality? So I believe the idea that the next 6 months every country should vote for this act in every country. For example, Poland postponed this. Will it be implemented in fully in the next 6 months, or it will be some gaps in different countries? Some already implemented, some will be waiting for the legal part of it. What do you think from your point?
The regulation is a little bit another. Look, starting from the 1st of July 2026, a company cannot operate in any country of European Union and among those countries who joined MiCA, if this company is not a CASP.
Yes.
This is very simple. In some countries, it is now already, like in majority, the big number of companies just made it impossible starting from 1st of January. Yes, and the rest of the part will do it on the 1st of July. What does it mean? This is the rule which will work. Let us come to Poland. Yes. Poland still didn't adopt the local internal law connected with a regulation of crypto. I see a very strict and real political process which is around this law. From one point of view, I am a little bit nervous as well now, because we have a big number of clients who are presented in Poland, for whom we have already prepared the documentation, but we can't apply for MiCA. Yes, we are waiting until the law comes into force. That is why some of the clients have already changed their mind, and we just begin to apply in other jurisdictions, like Slovakia. Very good jurisdiction, by the way, for today. At the same time, what it means for little business. Little business can operate in Poland till 1st of July 2026. What I see in the process, I hope I see the truth, because in reality, we cannot know what is going on in parliament, yes, and what are the real aims of those people who now are responsible for adopting the law. But it looks like, yes, they want to defend the market, because the law was vetoed by the president. It is the second time when he puts veto on the law, you see. And each time when he does it, the parliament is getting back to legislative work. And what they do it more simple, because the first edition, which was created in July, it was very strict, and it became lighter. Now again he is telling that it has to become again lighter, because he is very afraid that their neighbors will be more popular. Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Slovakia, and so on. But I cannot answer the only question you asked me. Will they succeed in time? What does it mean? I mean, will they succeed in time of reviewing the applications? Because if they adopt the law when? In December or in January? We will have only 6 or 5 months not only for reviewing, yes, because we have already submitted several applications in Czech Republic. We are in the process of review of the government reviewing our documents, and we are still on the third stage. First stage is 5 days for appointing officer and giving the case number. Second stage is 25 working days for reviewing the completeness of document, and third stage is 40 working days with possibility to continue it to 60 and reviewing the content. So now we have sent the documents in Czech Republic in July 2025, and we are still on the third page. In Lithuania, the same. We still didn't. Nobody rejected us, but nobody issued license, and this is quite. I'm becoming nervous about that. But maybe they will do something good, because I know exactly that Polish regulating authority doesn't want to lose the market, because they see that a lot of crypto projects really live in Poland. I'm personally in Warsaw now, and I like this jurisdiction from the point of view of business. And it is comfortable for many projects to be represented here because they can create substance. People like to live in Poland. That is why I can hope that everything will be okay, and very soon they will adopt the law, which will be comfortable for jurisdiction and for investors.
No, thank you for your time. It's already 1 hour. We are out of the free time available for us. I want to again tell that if somebody want to directly contact one of us to get some additional information or consultation, they can do this. They can book the meeting or contact through LinkedIn or email. All information will be in the chat regarding the communication. And thank you for your time. It was really interesting and a lot of suitable information provided.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, colleagues. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.